Hello, everybody. My name is Alvaro, and I'm part of the Vietnam mission trip, and I'm just going to be reading you a little short thing from my notes. I just want to say to begin this testimony is, as Pastor Justin has said, is on behalf of the Vietnam mission trip training. And my testimony consists of what I have learned from Pastor Tay's experience in the Vietnam training. Before I even went to Vietnam and started taking the training, I haven't gone yet, but before I took the mission training, I was unsure of whether to go to just Vietnam in general. And part of the reason was because of the distance, because Vietnam is a considerable amount of distance. It's about 17-hour flight from the US, and that would mean it's also on the Eastern Hemisphere, which personally I've never been to, so that was part of the reason, and family distance. And after some insistence from my family and members of the church, I agreed to go on the mission. And the training started with very gospel-centered lessons, and basically, pretty recently we went to go meet with the missionaries through Zoom because they're currently in Vietnam. And part of what they said is that we're not just going to preach the gospel, because part of it is because we're not allowed to, because it's a communist country, as many of you may know. And so religious activity is very persecuted and I guess very cracked down upon, so we weren't allowed to. So part of the reason and some of the ways that we are spreading the gospel is through actions. So the way that you behave and the way that you act and the way you carry yourself is the way that you will spread the gospel to people and to know that God's love. And that's what the missionary said. And I had not considered that aspect of the gospel, because I'm really focused on just spreading the gospel, telling people the good news of the word. But I never remembered that until the missionary said it. And I started reading the gospels, and I noticed that that's the way that Jesus did it and the way that he spread his love. Like, for example, Jesus didn't just go around preaching the gospel in the synagogues to all the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He instead he did it through works. And the ways that he healed the blind man and he fed the 5,000, which is something I really admire. And I had not considered that, and I feel like that's what really changed my attitude to this mission trip. I had seen it as a work, not really spiritual side, I guess. And now that I started to consider that, I realized that as the gospel itself says that we should carry and that we should know each other through the works of our fruits. And it helped me realize that if I have true faith and if I have faith at all, I should be producing these good works, and which is something I had forgotten about. So I feel like that's part of the main reason that Pastor Tay's training was very influential on my life, because it allowed me to see that I was missing some sides to my faith and stuff that I had done. And I want to give thanks to Pastor Tay for that, and the missionaries helped me realize that. And I want to say that this training has fully changed my life, and I have noticed that the way that I'm acting and the way that I'm responding and the way that I carry myself has changed, especially because I realize now that my faith is growing, and these works are the things that are helping me grow my faith. I want to say thank you to everybody listening to me. Thank you.